All right, what's up, guys? So today I want to talk about the fundamentals, the basic concepts that people that post educational information on health and fitness talk about all the time, but maybe you may not know what they mean. I'm going to break those down for you today. So the first one I'm going to go over is fitness concepts, and the absolute most important thing of every workout routine, I don't care what your goal is, whether it's to lose fat, build muscle, it doesn't matter, is progressive overload. And essentially what progressive overload is steadily increasing the weight, making your body work harder each week. So you can do that by increasing weight, you can do that by increasing sets, reps, doesn't matter as long as your body's working harder than it was the last week. They say the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting a different result. And that absolutely applies with progressive overload. The next one is compound movements. With compound movements, those are exercises that use more than one body part at a time. And not only that, but they use the most energy. I'm talking about lifts like the bench press, deadlift, squat, clean and press, overhead press. Those heavy exercises, or they should be heavy exercises, that are going to take a lot of energy in order for you to complete them. Those should be performed at the beginning of your workouts. Next one is time under tension and tempo. Time under tension and tempo is essentially controlling the weight as you're performing the exercise. It is indicated by 4 numbers. The first number is the lowering part of the phase, so I don't know if you guys can see that, but let's say, for example, we're doing a bench press. 2 seconds, you would be lowering the exercise. It's the same thing with the dumbbell. Even though it's the first exercise or the first number, and with a dumbbell, you're going against gravity, so you're pulling it up versus pushing. It's still 2 seconds down, okay? So that's the lowering part of the movement. The next one is the pause at the bottom of the exercise. So for a bench press, if you wanted to pause for a second, you could, but most of the time, you're gonna bring it down to your chest and go immediately back up. So again, that would be 0. And then the third one is the lifting part of the phase. This is usually the most explosive part of the lift. This is when you want to use the most energy to push that weight up. It should be the hardest part of your lift. So that's the lifting phase. And then the fourth phase is the squeeze or the pause at the top. So with the bench press, you'd be squeezing your chest as you're pushing it up, okay? The last thing that we're going to go over is the intensity or rate of perceived exertion, which is indicated by the acronym RPE. So essentially what that is it's a range of 1 to 10, and that gives you the intensity that you want to go for. So as your reps decrease, then your intensity should be going up. For example, if you're trying to deadlift and you're only doing 5 reps, well, your intensity should probably be at like a 7 to an 8, somewhere around there. Versus if you're doing 15 reps of like a dumbbell curl, maybe that would be more like a 4 or a 5. Make sense? So now that we're finished with the fitness concepts, I want to go into the nutrition concepts. This is absolutely crucial. Again, it doesn't matter what your goal is, these are going to apply to you. So if you want to lose weight, if you want to burn fat, you need to be in a calorie deficit. Actually, what it means is you're eating less calories than you're burning. Like I said, it promotes fat loss, and then you have the caloric surplus, which is the opposite of that. So you're eating more calories than you're burning. So if you're trying to build muscle, if you're trying to bulk up, then you want to be in caloric surplus. And those two things are found by your age, your activity level, your body fat percentage, your height, your weight, and your gender. So you can look those things up online, or if you apply to any of my coaching, I do that for you. So then we get into macronutrients. Macronutrients are your proteins, your carbs, and your fats. You've probably heard that word, or maybe if it fits your macros before. Essentially, that's what it's talking about. What they are is they're nutrients that give you energy. So calories are energy. And protein is 4 calories per gram. Carbs is 4 calories per gram, and then fats is 9 calories per gram. There's a lot that we could go into that, but I just want to give you the very, very basics right now. Then the last thing we have is intermittent fasting. So intermittent fasting is essentially a style of eating that helps you lose weight. And the way that it works is you're given a certain amount of time that you're fasting, that you're not eating throughout the day, and then you're given a window that you are allowed to eat. So what that does is it helps you stay in a calorie deficit. Again, it doesn't matter how long the window is. It's essentially a way of eating that can become a lifestyle. So that's pretty much it for the fundamentals of exercise and nutrition. I'll be going over a few of these in more detail at a later date. I want to go over macronutrients. I want to go over intermittent fasting a little bit more, time under tension or the tempo, and compound movements. But the biggest things for you to take away are progressive overload, calorie deficit, calorie surplus, and compound movements.